Hello and welcome back to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me to talk about Harold Perkins from LSU in this incredible preview for the season is our host, Mr. Vincent Turner. How's it going, man?
Hey man, how you doing this morning on this glorious Monday morning?
It is an incredible morning here in Atlanta, Georgia. We're talking football. We're starting off the week right, and it is one of my favorite times. So I couldn't be more excited to be here with you talking about football. And, Harold Perkins, LSU, this is a great person to be starting with. So, Mr. Football himself, please tell us more about Harold Perkins and what we can expect from LSU.
Well, today, Harold Perkins is our preseason Defensive Player of the Year here on 100 Yards of Football. What I like about the gentleman is that last year he was a freshman, first-team All-American, and he came on the scene at a school that's had some great football players from a defensive standpoint, and Michael Brooks, Tommy Casanova, Glenn Dorsey. Harold Perkins just came out of the blue. And when I think about Harold Perkins, and I've been following this great game of college football for 60 years, and especially you looking at the linebacker position, I put a list of 20 players that I've seen play that has this kind of skill set that Mr. Harold Perkins has. When you talk about Harold Perkins' skill set, speed, 4.4 in the 40, athletic, A+, outstanding production, A+, gifted with a lot of juice at the linebacker position, A+, the instincts just off the charts, A+, the tackling ability, A+, the ball reaction, A+, pass rushing ability, A+, and being aggressive, because that's what you have to be at playing linebacker, especially at the college level, then moving on up to the next level, A+, and then the burst and acceleration, going sideline to sideline as a linebacker, A+. And when I look at Harold Perkins, I go back into my history bank. And the play he had on the field last year was just at another level. Then I think about George Webster when he was at Michigan State in 1966. Then I think about seeing Robert Brazile at Jackson State in 1972. Then I think about Butch Robinson down there at Southern University. Then I think about L.T. Lawrence Taylor at North Carolina in 1980. Then I think about Hugh Green, Natchez, Mississippi, University of Pittsburgh in 1980. Then I think about LeVar Arrington at Penn State in 1997. Then I think about Jerry Robinson at UCLA, my freshman year at the University of Arkansas, when Jerry Robinson was an All-American in 1978. Then E.J. Jr. on bad Alabama defensive teams in the late 70s and the early 80s. Then Jackie Walker, who's the first linebacker I saw with this type of skill set, me being 9 years old, living in Memphis, Tennessee, playing for the Big Orange, the University of Tennessee. Then I think about Barry Krause, inside linebacker that played at Alabama. His skill set similar to Mr. Perkins, making that goal line stand against Penn State in the 1979 Sugar Bowl. Then, of course, I got to throw Ray Lewis when he was at the University of Miami. Then a young man from Pensacola, Florida, Derrick Brooks, when he was at Florida State. Then you think about the young man, Randy Gradishaw at Ohio State. Then you think about Laverne Kirkland, big guy, when he was doing his thing at Clemson. Then you think about Mike Singletary, who I saw play in person, had 30 tackles in one game against Arkansas back in 1979. Then Grady Turner, who was playing for the University of Houston Cougars, same year in 1979, I saw play in person. And then, of course, Richard Wood, Batman, that played at USC in 1972. Mr. Harold Perkins and all those great players I named, there's 20 total. His skill set is on the same level as all those players. And watching them play last year made me want to get out of my chair. Think about this last year. See, I go back production. Production one more time. Mr. Perkins last year, 72 tackles, 13.5 tackles for losses, 7.5 sacks, four forced fumbles, 1 interception, and 14 quarterback hurries as a true freshman starting at LSU. And then finally, what makes it so special, we have a thing here, 100 yards of football. And Mr. Daniel Kelly taught me this, former NFL scout with the New York Jets. The game film don't never lie. Go back to Mr. Perkins, 3 games actually last year with him playing at LSU as a true freshman against Arkansas. And LSU beating Arkansas 13-10. He had 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 8 tackles. Then against Bryce Young, University of Alabama, he had 8 tackles in that game. And then in the SEC championship game last year against Georgia, he had 10 tackles, solos. Harold Perkins is a very special football player. And he's one of those guys, when you look at his playing ability, he reminds you of a former LSU great, Michael Brooks, that played in the mid-'80s with LSU. So this gentleman right here, when it's all said and done, he's going to be the defensive player of the year in college football, and he's going to be on some first-team All-American teams. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it, and we surely appreciate here at 100 Yards Football. Get ready to lace them up. Football is from the start at a high level. The game that I love. Y'all be blessed here on 100 Yards of Football.